So most of the time when you buy a cheaper tablet, you're usually sacrificing a few things compared to more expensive devices. But if you compare the new entry-level iPad 9 to the new Galaxy Tab S8, I think you're going to be surprised by the results. Obviously, pricing is going to depend on which version you get. The iPad starts at $329 for 64 gigabytes of storage, $479 for 256 gigabytes of storage, so quite a bit cheaper than the Galaxy Tab, which is going to start at $700 for 128, $780 for 256 gigabytes of storage. So we're talking about $380 more for the base model Galaxy Tab and $300 more for the 256 gigabytes of storage. Keep in mind, if you buy the Apple Pencil, that's about $80 to $100 more, and then you get the S Pen included with the Galaxy Tab, which is nice. That one actually has several spots to attach to the tablet, where with the iPad, yeah, not so much. Overall size on these two tablets are actually very similar. You get a 10.2 inch 2160 by 1620 Retina display on the iPad versus 11 inch 2560 by 1600 Super AMOLED display on the Galaxy Tab. So you're gonna get 2160p resolution on YouTube, full HD playback resolution when watching Netflix. So both are gonna look really good regardless of which one you choose. My only issue with the iPad is when watching YouTube videos, it's got those huge bars on the top and bottom, and for some reason it doesn't allow you to zoom in like it does on Android. Now I don't really notice that as much when it comes to other apps, but when it comes to YouTube, which is what I watch a lot of, it definitely makes the screen seem a lot smaller. You also get 120 Hz refresh rate on the Galaxy Tab, only 60 Hz on the iPad. Surprisingly, the iPad is still fairly smooth, even at half the refresh rate. For me, I like to see devices that have the higher refresh rate, but it's not going to be a deal breaker. I feel like as long as everything is nice and smooth, that's definitely more important to me. You're going to get an 8,000 milliamp hour battery in the Galaxy Tab, 8557 milliamp hour in the iPad 9. So yeah, a little bit bigger battery on the iPad. So you would think the Galaxy Tab is going to have better battery life because it has a bigger battery. But weird thing is, I got 7.5 hours battery life on the Galaxy Tab, only 5.5 hours on my iPad 9, which is kind of sad, really. I almost feel like I should run that test again just to see if the iPad can make it to 6 hours. But keep in mind, that's with the screen brightness at 100%. You can obviously get better battery life if you turn the screen brightness down, and should get you through the whole day with normal usage. But yeah, if you want the tablet with better battery life, you're probably going to want to grab the Galaxy Tab. Software on these two are going to be a little bit different. Now, some things are somewhat similar, actually more now than ever before, but it's really going to be personal preference on which one you like better. For me, there's things I like about both, but if you're going to be using the Apple Pencil a lot, I feel like it's a little more limited than the S Pen. I'm not sure why, but Apple only lets you use it in certain areas, and you're gonna have to pay extra for that, although it's still gonna be less than the Galaxy Tab, where with the S Pen, you can use it pretty much anywhere. I know the Touch ID on the iPad is a little bit older style, but it still works really good, so I can't really blame them for keeping that. Then on the Galaxy Tab, you get the fingerprint scanner there on the power button, and yeah, both seem fairly reliable. I think it's just going to come down to personal preference. You're also going to be able to connect a keyboard and mouse to both tablets to be a little more productive, but I feel like Samsung has the slight advantage with Samsung DeX, making things a little bit closer to a regular laptop, and it sort of reminds me of a Chromebook. So even though I may prefer the Samsung tablet, I still use both almost daily, so I can see why some people may choose Apple, others may choose Samsung. If you're wanting the physical Touch ID on the front instead of the power button and a headphone jack, this is going to be the only iPad left that has both of those things. Probably one of the biggest surprises I think between these two is gonna be performance. I mean, one look at the Geekbench scores and you're gonna see the iPad is quite a bit better than the Galaxy Tab. I mean, it's not even that close. Now, you're not gonna notice anything moving around the software on either one as far as being slow or sluggish. I feel like both tablets are nice and fast for the most part. Gaming is also gonna be pretty good on these two tablets. Some people may not like the big bezels there on the iPad, but it's really not that bad when it comes to gaming. I actually do prefer the bigger display with smaller bezels like on the Galaxy Tab, but you can't really go wrong with either one. Now, one area I think the iPad comes up a little short is it's only got 2 speakers down at the bottom, which used to be fine back in the day, but now even budget tablets like the Galaxy Tab A8 have a quad speaker setup that's nice and loud, and if you compare the speakers on these two, it's not going to be that close. The Tab S8 speakers are quite a bit louder, they sound better, and are balanced a little bit better since they're on each side. Here's a quick audio test just to give you an idea of what to expect, but yeah, this one's a pretty easy win for the Galaxy Tab. Good thing is, cameras on these two tablets are actually pretty good, for tablets anyways. I feel like the front-facing cameras are gonna be some of the best out there when it comes to tablets in general. The cameras for video is going to be a little bit higher resolution on the Galaxy Tab since you can do 4K versus only 1080p on the iPad, and I feel like the Galaxy Tab is maybe a little bit better as far as photos go with the 13 megapixel versus only 8 on the iPad. For me, I would give the slight edge to the Galaxy Tab, but you can't really go wrong with either. The iPad 9 front-facing camera is actually really good for video. I feel like Samsung might just be a little bit better when it comes to camera quality. I'll give you a few samples here just to see what you think. So that's about all the time I have for this video. I'm hoping this video was at least somewhat helpful to give you some things to think about when trying to decide between these two. Again, a lot different when it comes to pricing and actually pretty close when it comes to performance and the value that you're gonna get out of each one. So if you've made it this far into the video, you may want to say thanks by subscribing, and don't forget to give a thumbs up if this video was helpful. This is Brian from Fishbee Productions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.